All right, we are live on YouTube and TikTok. I drew this a little bit ago, sketched it out, and I was thinking of maybe doing a little painting demo. I've still collected some references. I really don't have any idea how this is going to go. I was thinking maybe like, what if we do like a cool background to this?
Ooh, how fun. Hey, Lexi, as always, here early. Very nice. Hey, Saf, you're here early too?
It would work pretty good, I think.
Sick. So today, we're going to be covering topics like color theory and painting, but Coleman's going to be mainly doing this demo, and we're going to just be answering questions on the side.
Yeah, we're going to be answering questions, talking about fun stuff.
Yeah.
But I am going to be doing a demo. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this.
What is it supposed to be? I know it's an anvil of some sort.
I'm basically going to probably try to make some sort of a stylized-ish anvil. Hello, Saf. Hello, CJJJ.
Hey, Jella. Is that how you pronounce it?
Hello. Welcome on YouTube. How are we? We're doing pretty good. Oh, I know. This was probably turned so I could actually see.
Oh, wow.
That.
I saw the YouTube notif and thought to myself, wow, I'll be pretty early today. That's a very good decision.
That's great. That's a little bit better. I can see. There's a huge glare on the iPad screen from the light. It's really bad when things are dark. Line work, it's not so bad. So, I pulled up some references here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I've got some references of anvils. Anvils. I actually grew up messing with these. I got some references, some pretty cool stuff.
Whoa, that's cool texture down there. How do you know which colors to pick? Like, what colors look good?
That would go more under color theory. Generally, most colors look good together. You just don't really want to use too many. Like one of the rules of thumb, right? I also got some interesting references down here, some stuff on how people stylize things. I kind of like this. Some of it's like Hearthstone type. I don't know if I'm going to do it in this style. I just kind of like...
Inspiring.
I just kind of like how they're doing some of this stuff. But here's my references for my anvil. Maybe I'll put something like this on there. That's pretty sick.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I might do like warm and cool lighting. I was thinking... In my brain right now, what I'm doing is I'm going... Maybe I'll have like cool window light.
Oh, there, you can't see that, so...
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, there we go.
Yes, it worked.
Yay.
Maybe I'll have like cool window light in the background, right? So I'm thinking cool light. And then I'm thinking, what if I had like a warm light over on this side? Over there.
Look at that.
Some maybe like warm, really warm light on this side. So I'm thinking cool window light. Why do I want cool window light? Number one, I feel like I could make this red hot and it would look really interesting against the cool window light.
That's how you pick colors.
Number two, I actually feel like I would get some kind of cool, or I should say interesting instead of cool, reflections coming down here. And maybe a little bit of rim lighting on the blade right here. If I have warm light on the right here, and I'm just like thinking to myself, right? I'm like pre-planning this. I didn't plan any lighting or anything. I'd have warm lighting along here. I'd have warm lighting along here. I'd probably have an interesting highlight on this cylinder right here. I'd have maybe an interesting little highlight there, right there. This is like me thinking, right? Like I'm going, do I want the lighting here? Once I commit to the lighting, I've got to keep it there my entire painting, right?
Wow.
This is going to be lit. This is going to be lit.
That's cool.
So like I could back up at any second. I could go, no, I want the warm light over here. And then I would light this and this and this and this. Right? And that would look cool. I could have two warm lights. What if I had a really bright warm light here? And then I had a dimmer, more reddish light on this side.
Oh, that's fun.
Right? I could do something like that. And then that would be like It's an anvil in a forge that's by lava or something, right?
No, that's sick. Did you notify the Discord yet?
No, I can't. It's
Oh.
kind of far. Hold on, I'll do that really quick. I will notify the Discord, and I would like you to chat with chat.
Yes. My TikTok, whoops, I'm gonna go over to YouTube. Awesome, go ahead. I'm already liking how this is looking. I think with generally like paintings and stuff, people don't plan enough. And so when you're wondering like, okay, well how can I, like how is it that I can paint with a reference or draw from a reference, but if I'm doing this in my imagination, it doesn't look good. It's because it's lack of planning, and also, you know, if you don't have the reference, it's harder to see what's gonna happen. Hey Muley, good morning. Or yeah. Thank you for the
That's
heartbeat.
basically what I'm doing. And now I could go over here and I could go like, maybe I'll have some purple-ish shadows on this side.
You know the color map black/grayscale. I don't know how, but without checking, I can pick colors and the grayscale looks great. Do you know how?
Huh?
I don't know if I just read that right. It's on YouTube.
Hey, Saf. Hey, Brianna. Hey, from Robbie and I. Hello.
Hey, hey Brianna.
We got more Perrys introduced.
Yeah.
As if there weren't enough, there certainly are now.
Mm-hmm.
We got more Perrys in the world. You know the color map black/grayscale. I don't know how, but without checking, I'm not really sure what you mean exactly. Low key better on YouTube. High key.
High key, more like it.
So I'm thinking we're probably going to have more of a reflection right along here.
Hey Fox.
We'll probably have a reflection in there. I'm thinking, at least for now, what do you think of like this for kind of the color scheme?
I like
Warm light on the right, cool light behind. We'll get some pretty sick reflections. We'll get some cool light spilling onto this. We'll probably get a little highlight on this piece of metal right here. And then let's go. I think that's pretty fun.
Hey Danny Draws Hander Dingus. Hey Cran.
I got my nails done and I can't type. Ooh, that sounds
Nail?
fun.
I want to see. Post an off topic or something if you don't mind.
I kind of like this. I'm probably going to change the design of the anvil a bit. Okay, I kind of like how this is going. Let's make some...
Look at that.
A lot of the time on client projects, this is actually how it goes as well. Is you kind of just do some sketching.
It's always nice that you just start with something so simple and then you just kind of gradually keep adding more and more. It's looking so cool, Danny Draw says. Foxes, I thought that this was some giant city. You know, it could be.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, the form could absolutely be a giant city.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm not going to do a giant city right now.
You did magic.
So this is going to be metal. So we're going to get probably more of a highlight along here. It depends how reflective this metal is.
So when you start off with this kind of stuff, do you think about it's the neutral color, like the local color?
Right now I'm not actually thinking about the local color that much. But I could always just go in and turn this layer off and do that. Yeah, I'll go in. So this wood. All right, I'm going to make a little thing here on this side, right? We're going to have anvil, wood, and that's about it for now, right? We'll mess with the metal, the other metal and stuff later. I would like at least a third material. I guess like the ground and rock could be a third. So our anvil, our local value of the anvil is going to be pretty gray, right? It's probably going to be something along the lines of, if I look at my references, you want to turn the reference on really quick?
Yep, ref on.
If I look at my references, a little bit rusty. That one's kind of cool. Gray-ish. This one has more of like an iron kind of color to it.
Ooh, that one's sick.
This one's cool. I'll probably add some of this later. You can see there's some nice kind of reflection on the edges. You know, we'll make it a warm gray. Off.
Yes.
We'll make it a warm gray.
Warm gray.
Let's just say our anvil color to start is just like this, all right? So we're going to go, and I'm going to choose something probably like this, right? Medium, warm, gray. Pretty gray, but warm. Maybe a little bit lighter than that, all right? That's going to be my starting base value. And I'll save some more layers. And I may never actually see this gray show up a single time, right? So we can just save that on the side. And we can go shadow. Let's just think for a second.
Yep.
So this gray, the gray of the anvil, it may never actually show up in my art at all. It may never show up a single time, but I still need to know it in my mind because I'm going to add to it, right? If I turn it cooler, I may end up getting, you can't see the difference really there on chat, but like if I turn it cooler, I may get something like that. If I keep turning it cooler, I may get more of a purplish, right? If I turn these cooler, I'm going to go that direction. So I need to know if I shine a warm light on it, if I shine a cool light on it, I need to know what direction, where I'm starting from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey, Captain.
let's go in here and let's just do this. I actually don't really need, how do I do this? Yeah, little bug.
Ew.
Some sort of little bug.
What kind? Is it super tiny?
What is this, chat? Get out of here.
What is that? Is it a flea?
Maybe. What? I don't. We have searched far and wide all over the cats. We could not find a single flea. Oh, let me do this. What is?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
opacity.
just turn that down a lot. I kind of forgot what I was doing for a second. Okay. Come back here. We will just kind of go and add a nice cool light behind this.
I can
I
imagine
don't
it's raining in
actually
the
think
background.
I want that. Yeah, it could be. Like we could have an open doorway, and then that could be like cool in the background. Yeah, let's maybe just do something like that. All right, so maybe like a rainy day in the background, and I'll open the door enough that we can get an interesting silhouette. I might change this later, but let's just say right now we will just have that, all right? And then the top of this metal will get really, you'll get a lot of reflection on it, like a lot. And so I'm just gonna cool that down a lot.
Look at that. Looks nice already. I made a 3D model a few days ago, and I'm really happy with the result being my first time and all. Awesome.
That is fun.
That is great. That's always encouraging.
I enjoy 3D modeling quite a lot. It's fun. It's like therapeutic.
It is. Well, I like sculpting, like faces and stuff. It is quite therapeutic.
All right, that sounds
Looks pretty good.
fine. You know, these are going to have highlights, highlight, highlight, highlight. And they're going to have kind of like a lit side. So these are all kind of rendered like half spheres.
Hey, Cheesecake Man.
This down in here, we'll make these shadows a little bit more purplish. It's not that important what color we make them. We just kind of want to get that value.
YouTube chat tends to be quieter just because there's less people. That's generally why. On TikTok, it's always like people coming and going, and they chat a lot more.
Yeah.
But some people like on YouTube, they like to just kind of listen to things on the background and stuff. You need to inspect this bug.
Did I get him?
I don't know if you got him.
I think I did. I don't know.
Somehow. I made it look like my PFP. She's my OC. Oh, awesome. Record, thank you for the follow. You like it better like this? Well, that's good.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. Look at that. Amazing.
So that's kind of my basic lighting setup. In my mind, I'm thinking kind of in terms of that. Now I may go over here and I'm going like wood, right? What's the wood? What's my local value of my wood? Do I want to make it a warm wood? Do I want to make it a cool wood? Do I want to make it, you know, I'm going to say it's kind of a used. It's kind of used. It's a little bit cooler. It's sort of worn down. And I may just have my wood as this. And then my edges of the wood, maybe they'll get a little bit more brighter.
Look at that. Very nice.
And I'll have this color in here, right? So I've got a little bit brighter, desaturated, warm yellowish. And so whenever I'm drawing the wood, I'm going to use these colors. And that's just something I kind of arbitrarily decided, right? And so again, I may never actually see this show up a single time in my painting, but I need to know it because I need to know what I'm starting from. And so here's my local value added to the light, and then we're going to go up.
I definitely
and my
think
wood
that,
is going to be painted like this. What?
I definitely think that knowing the local color and value, it makes it easier choosing colors because the color of the light or environment will affect that color.
Yeah.
And you still got to make it look like brown.
I mean, you basically have to know it.
Yeah.
You can't. It's like, how do you paint something if you don't know what color it is? Like, you can't. Really?
Yeah. Silly Kitty, thank you for the follow. Or the Silly Kitty. We have a few silly kitties ourselves. So feel free to ask any questions regarding with painting or color theory, because I know a lot of people hate color theory. It is very confusing.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about whatever.
Is it too late to ask anatomy questions that have to do with light?
Too late? We're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna really talk about any anatomy today.
No.
Anatomy questions that have to do with light would have to do with form rendering.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be able to paint anatomy better with light, it'd be form rendering. Most figure painters work in core shadows and cast shadows. Like, you know, you've got a core on a form that turns away from the light, so you'd have a core shadow, and then you'd have a cast shadow, which is like a hard-edged shadow. But anytime you figure paint, you're basically going to be working with core shadows and cast shadows. Mm-hmm. And I would say, you know, break the body down into the light side and the dark side. Like, you know,
Map it out.
Map it out. So the blue side would be all of the dark, and the red would be all of the light. And then once you have those two sides mapped out, you would determine how sharp are my core shadows, or am I working with cast shadows, right? Is it a form that turns quickly, like a finger, or a bony area? Or is it a form that turns slowly, like a muscle, like a bicep, or, you know, a leg, or an arm, or whatever?
Good to catch you guys again, trying to absorb as much info while working as possible.
Awesome.
Nice. What I really like about how Colton paints is that he just starts with like a mess, and then like you turn away for a second and it's like already pretty crisp. How do you paint reflection?
How do you paint reflections?
How reflective do you want it? Is the thing.
Reflections. So, if you want to learn how to paint reflections, you would start with understanding how to paint matte surfaces. So, for example, like this one here on the left, right? And then you would start, as your material becomes more reflective, your highlights and your lights and your darks start becoming a bit more crisper. And as you move into like chrome, it becomes a literal reflection of the world. It's basically a mirror ball. And so you could have somewhere between like kind of semi-reflective, which is like you kind of get half and half. You get some rendering going on, but there's also some crisper highlights. You could go completely matte, which is like there's really no highlights and it's just form rendering, like matte surface rendering. And then there's all the way reflective, which is like chrome or like, you know, polished metal or whatever, which a lot of the time will literally just be a mirror and reflect the world.
Does form rendering apply to hard edges?
Does form rendering apply to hard edges? Yeah, I mean, there's no edge in the world that's 100% hard. It's not like there's like even machined metal has a little bit of form change.
It's like a very
has
slight
a
bevel.
little bit of form change in it. So generally, if you would paint a really, really, really sharp object, you just get a teeny tiny little highlight as that form changes around. Are you freebies recorded somewhere? Yeah, we're live on YouTube right now.
Draw Anime Academy is our YouTube channel.
Yep, Draw Anime Academy, and we do stream a good number of times every single week. So I'm actually going to decide I'm like filling a little bit of this shadow with maybe just like a little bit of purplish. I kind of like that in there. So again, this is the drawing that I did before stream. It's just like a sketch of an anvil on some wood blocks. Whether I keep that design or not, I'm not sure, but like I'm definitely going to keep these main forms for the most part, at least in the beginning. And then let me turn that on, turn that off. And I'm really just blocking in like, where's my light? I got a warm light on my right in the front, and I've got a cool light like a doorway or something in the background. Maybe it's raining outside, Christina said. And then I'm simply just going in here and starting to describe a little bit more of my forms. I'm thinking about the local value and color of the anvil, and I'm thinking of the local color of the wood, and I'm simply just shining a warm light on that, and it's warming it up. And so this anvil is going to have reflections along the top. And what?
Is it common to constantly practice the basics even if you already know them?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, even if you know the basics, you don't really, it doesn't mean you can do them. There's like a big difference between knowing something and being able to apply it practically. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know of any artist, even like someone like Kim Jong-il, he still studied the basics. Like, he was still drawing pages and pages and pages in his sketchbook of just like basic cylinder people. So like, if you know the basics to the point where like you should be studied by scientists, like, you know, someone's got to get in contact with you because you're the first one. But yeah, like tons of people still do studies. Pros do them all the time. They're constantly trying to refine and level up their skills.
Yep. And Lao.
There's that metal that's red.
That's so cool. I always think it's fascinating when they have like the hot iron and they dip it in the water. It's so cool. Nice, Safi. Watching 2 YouTube things. That's fun. Do you guys just Google your references, or do you have a specific site?
I'll find references for specific things. Like here, you want to turn the references on? Mm-hmm. These are some of the references that I found.
You found those on Google?
Yeah, I just found these on Google's. A lot of the time I'd find them on Pinterest, and I kind of just wanted to see like, what's the material, what's the roughness, where are the chips at? You know, there's this hole, I should probably add it. I even have stuff like like this, like about an anvil. Here's the drawing that I did before stream. It's kind of just like a fantasy kind of invented anvil on some wood. I kind of like some of the stuff going on here. You'll notice there's like lots of chips along the sides.
When the top of the anvil have some red light, Fox asks.
And red hot, not really. Probably like you might get a little tiny bit, like a little tiny bit reflecting, but a red hot metal is really not that bright. It's really not that bright. You might get a little tiny bit of reflection right here, which I never really added yet. Yeah, and then you could probably get like a little bit of, because this form is rotating away from us, right? And so you're going to get the Fresnel effect happening, and you're going to probably get a little specular there, like if anything. But it would be a reflection. It wouldn't be light coming from the metal so much. But it would be debatable whether you would actually see this or not. Because here's a shelf like right here. And then, you know, here's the form of this. And so whether this thing would see the metal or whether it would get blocked by this, you could make the argument either way. If it looks cool, I would say go for it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you'd probably get a little bit of... But it would be more of a reflection. Because you got a pretty strong, cool light back here. Pretty strong, cool light. And I would even go up here and maybe...
Have you already explained how you pick the light colors for the local values?
Where's that? Have you already explained how you pick the light colors for the local value?
You mean like using the light?
All I'm really doing is I'm just making a decision and I'm sticking with it. The values are the most important thing. Like whether this this could be a green anvil, it could be a warm green anvil, it could be a cool green anvil. I find that the color itself is not all that important because it can always be adjusted. It's like is the rendering believable? Is the light behaving consistently throughout the scene? So like I could change the color of this anvil as long as it's consistently changed across the entire painting. It doesn't really matter that much. So this was the anvil color that I decided on, and all I really did was went down to my color picker and I just went, it's a yellowish light, and I pulled it up and I'm like, all right, I'll start with that.
First best guess. And like, right, see, this is a different color than the one I had chosen, but it doesn't really matter that much. And so I don't know how reflective I want this anvil to be. We're using the brush that we give away for free.
Yeah. Do we want it?
Sure.
I don't need that.
Nope, you don't need that. So you can get this brush.
Yeah.
On our website, drawanime.com. It's a green button.
Yup. And I'm just really pretty much using that brush.
Yeah. We haven't used the new Procreate brushes.
I've never tried them.
Yeah.
You can screenshot that if you want and go check out the brushes, totally free.
Mm-hmm. I'm working on doing backgrounds, for example, like a rundown old abandoned building. How would you render something like that?
Rundown old abandoned building. Go look at some well, rundown old abandoned buildings are like rundown in very specific ways, right? Like, is it overgrown? Has it been hit by a bomb? Has a car crashed into it? Like, this stuff creates really specific details in situations. So I would say I would start with, okay, it's a rundown old abandoned building, and I would use that as my starting point, and then I would go through and be like, now I need like specifics about what is run down about it. Like, is the foundation sinking in? Right? Is the building sinking into the ground?
What is the building made of?
Yeah, like what's the building made of? Yeah, is it stone? Is it wood? Is the wood rotting? What environment is it in? Is it in a humid environment? Is it rotting? Or is it getting like sun rotted? Like in Arizona here, there's lots of abandoned buildings out in the like the desert and stuff, and they're all like sun rotted and dusty. Like those look so different than like an abandoned building in like, I don't know, like a forest. Empty and surrounded by trees and losing bricks. Yeah, I would look at references of that kind of stuff. It's more of like an interrogation, right? You want to sort of interrogate your design. You interrogate your idea. I think I'm going to expand this over here so I can see the silhouette of this.
How do I transition to learning basics on digital? I feel I can draw pretty decent in a sketchbook, but when I go digital, it looks bleh.
If you can draw decently, all you really need is just some time and practice. Everybody starts that way. Just start with something real basic.
There are definitely artists who draw really well, but maybe like their values aren't as good. But the thing is, the drawing's just so good that it holds everything up.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's interesting how that happens.
And I'm spending a lot of time. You'll notice, chat. What do I spend the most of my time doing? I spend most of my time working on the silhouette, crisping it up. Like, I want my silhouette of this to look really cool. And so I'm going to spend a lot of time focusing on my silhouette.
I would also, if you're asking about rendering that specific abandoned building, find a reference that has a similar lighting situation to what you want, and then try to group it into 2 or 3 values. Find the light direction, and then kind of getting your basic structure, lighting structure. So what Colton did in this painting first was he established, okay, where's my lights? He has a warm light on the right and a cool light in the back, and so he basically put in just his lighting direction really roughly.
Yeah.
That's generally how you get started. I mean, that's if you want to start that way.
This is really just basic form rendering. This is like, I'm just thinking of all these things as purely blocks, right? You've just got this large form right here can just be broken up into a box, like, for sure.
Well, it reads as a box. There's a 1, 2, 3 read.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this 1, 2, 3 read in there. So like, you've got a 1 side, that's this side right here. I've got a 2 side, that's this side right here. And I've got a 3 side, which is this side right here. And I'm just rendering it as a box. And I'm using that lighting logic, which is warm light on the right, cool light from above. And I kind of decided to go a little bit purplish on this side. But I don't care. Like, I can make this side green. I would just want to make sure that it stays consistent, right? Like, you could make this side green. Doesn't matter. Like, as long as I keep a like a consistency, I could go in here and be like, well, the witch wife is brewing a potion on the left, and so the potion is green, and it fills this whole side with green. Like, it would work. If that 1, 2, 3 still exists in black and white, you're still gonna see it. And I'm just like, oh well.
The witch wife and the blacksmith husband.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of cute. Oh, that's kind of neat. Would you say that green light is generally more powerful than, like, a red light?
Red lights aren't very bright. Just in general. So, I mean, it depends how bright the light is, but in general, when you shine a red light on something, it tends to not be very bright. Right? And my whole shadow would be filled with green, and I'd go, whatever. See? Now that the shadowed side is filled with green, and there's something over there, and I could literally just be like, here's my green light.
Oh, wow. It actually looks like a green light. Looks like it's being affected by that.
Like, I'm really not concerned. I'm more concerned about consistency. Consistency in my lighting, and whether, like, this is even what photographers do. Like, photographers don't have to render anything. They just take photos. But when they take a photo of a box, they go, does it have a 1, 2, 3 read?
Is it lit in a way that communicates properly?
Yeah.
3 fingers double tap on iPad to turn on grayscale.
3 finger? It didn't work.
Not for us, probably. We probably don't have a setting for that. Squishy face, thank you for the follow.
I don't really need grayscale too much right now, though. But, you know, we could do something.
I like that.
Something like this. What do you think? What do you think, Chad? Green side?
Do you have it on another layer?
3 fingers double tap to turn iPad to turn on grayscale.
I wish.
Do I have it on another layer? I don't.
Oh. Well, it's up to you if you want to keep it.
I don't care. I'll just keep it for now. I needed something more interesting to do anyways.
Green looks good, Namara says. Nice. Hey, Lindsay, how are you? So is there no limit to how many different light sources you add?
No.
That's a good question.
There is no limit. Like, I mean, you could fill your entire house with lights, but I don't want to lose my 1, 2, 3 read. That's like the main thing, right? I could have light sources everywhere. I could have a little fairy floating up here. I could have, you know what I mean? Like, if the more light sources, like, I don't want to wreck my read. I can use as many light sources as I want, but as soon as I start messing with like the overall graphical read of an image, you could get cooked really fast. Like, it would be very easy to lose your way. What
would you say is a good example of it when it starts getting lost?
Like, if you can't see what's happening anymore. Like, for example, if I made this green light so bright, I can make like a new layer. If I made this green light so bright, it's like shining all this and this and this and this and that and that. And then I came over here and I'm just like, okay, now this one is so bright. And then, oh man, I'm going to add a pink light. And the pink light's going to be right here. And then there's going to be a bunch of pink in here. And then there's going to be pink down here and pink reflections. And this is going to be pink. And then let me add a red light in the background right here. And then this is going to be red. And that's going to be red. And that's going to be red. Like, if I look at this in black and white. Oops. Don't want that. If I look at this in black and white, how do I turn it to black and white? Hue, saturation, brightness. Oh, that's just that for that one layer. Oh, I know. I'll just make a new layer on top. I'll fill it with black. I'll fill the canvas, and then I'll change the layer setting to color. There we go.
Oh yeah, you can't read that at all.
You can't see it anymore. Like, you can't see what's happening. You can see what's happening more so right here. So it's not about color. It's not about the lights per se. It's about, can your brain tell what's happening? This gets rid of a lot of that. You know, color is useful. Like, it does give you useful information, but it doesn't give you nearly as much like information as the value does.
Thanks, Brewer. They said, I love y'all's lives. You guys are great at drawing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, when I could come in here and be like, maybe I want this a little bit brighter. Maybe I want my wood to be brighter. I'm really exploring the balance between like the sides. Because in my mind, this is just, like, I'm thinking about cube rendering.
Oh, you using a different brush this time?
No. Same brush.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you were using a bristle brush.
No.
So, they say it's settings, accessibility, display and text size, color filters. Wow, that's a lot.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of steps, but that's interesting.
Yeah, I have that on my phone where I tap the power button like 4 times or whatever, and it'll turn it to black and white. I could do that. See, I'm not all that. I'm not a huge fan of the green in the shadow. I don't know if I would keep that or not, really.
I kind of liked it before with the purple tone.
Yeah, I kind of like the purplish tone as well.
But you didn't do it on a different layer, huh?
No. I don't know if I will redo it or if I will keep the purple or the green. You know, we could just keep the green now. Let me look. Might as well keep the green.
Okay. Is this drawing based on imagination, or is there a reference? It looks great.
It's based on imagination, at least all of the lighting information and everything. Like, I have some references here of, like, what does an anvil look like? And stuff I might add later. Like, these are pretty sick looking. But all of the lighting information, and this was the sketch. And I have, like, okay, this is what an anvil looks like. This isn't what I drew, but it's, like, reference for it, right? This is sick right here. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like this little shelf thing right here. That's cool. I might add that. That's cool. Look, like the hammer, it's like, and then it goes into like a box. That's interesting. I might do that. Ooh, smart.
Ooh, that is smart.
You can turn that off if you want.
Yeah. Do you use a screen protector? Oops. Yes, we do.
Yeah, there's one called Pen Mat 2 from Pen Tips. It's not the paper-like. I've never tried paper-like.
Yeah, the green is actually on the same layer, so you can't basically change it unless you have lasso tool selected. But
I was even thinking, and I don't really care that much. I like it when paintings have like minimal layers and aren't super tidy and crisp and everything. If I hate it, I'll repaint it.
It could be like a gemstone.
Could be. I was gonna make it a pot of witch's brew, but now that I think about it, like, yeah, honestly, it could be kind of like a gemstone, maybe.
Glowing.
We'll just do like a little silhouette of like a gemstone or something.
I love that.
There we go.
I've
And then
always wanted to find crystals and search for them and keep one for myself.
there. Why don't we have it like
Yeah.
a little?
I feel like that's heckin' cute.
Well, how about that? That'll work.
Yeah. That looks pretty like good continuity wise.
It makes more sense than a
Ball.
tiny little pot of boiling, bubbling stew.
You may, thank you for the follow. You may, maybe teal will be nice. Teal could work. Maybe.
Yeah, it could definitely work. I chose green because I was giving an example of just a really bizarre color earlier. Like, the color doesn't really matter that much. Ultimately, I would like a kind of a fleshed out design before I start painting, unless I am planning on painting as I design.
Chat, when you are painting something, what is the thing that you struggle with most? Like, is it you just don't have an idea? Or like how to paint certain things? Let us know. What if there's a finished sword with a green gem on it leaning against the wall in the background?
Maybe. I don't want to bring the focal point over there. I would have to do it in a pretty low value range. So I would probably want to do it within a value range that doesn't mess up my read. Could.
That's a nice vertical.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
See, if I had it in the background, I would definitely not want it to take away from, like, the point of the image. Like, we could absolutely add a little dot for, like, the gem. Every time, and this is a really, you kind of stumbled upon a good point, which is Every time I want to add something new, I have to go and decide, do I want it to grab attention or do I want it not to grab attention? And so if I wanted to add a sword in the background, I don't want it to grab too much attention. So I would just add it in the background and I keep it pretty low contrast.
Mm-hmm. I think I struggle deciding what I want the climate to be like ambient lighting and all. I haven't experimented enough.
I don't really have very good reference here. I'd honestly want to spend like a good hour finding specific references. Like once I get to this point, I'd probably honestly come in and just stop painting for a while and find some like specific references, like glints off of swords, anvils being lit by maybe like a fire. This doesn't really feel like firelight to me. It's more yellowish than fire would be. Fire has like a really, really fast fall off. This would have to be a really hot fire. But fire also kind of falls off more like reddish orange. So it would be more like, this, like an orangish.
Light reflection. I'm scared to pick really bright reflecting light, which is close to white, and I'm scared of adding too much white.
Probably end up getting something more like that.
I feel like if the reflection takes away from your image, then it might be too bright, because not all reflection is super bright or white. It's like in certain situations it'll be very bright.
Yeah, it depends on your material.
And I think on the topic with like ambient light, I think you can ask yourself like, okay, well, where is this person? Like, are they underwater with light passing through the water? Like that will have a very specific color. Are they in a club with, I don't know, neon lights, or is it mostly dark? And then I would, if I remember to, I would look up references of those specific scenarios, and I would like try my best to find the colors like by myself, where instead of color picking, I would be like, okay, so looks like it's really dark, but it's like a warm dark. And then I would try to like mimic that lighting scenario. And then that's more like treating it like a study and also an illustration. So you can try that. So informative, the whole thing is so sick. Nice. Glad you like it.
I kind of wanted to add
that shelf thing.
Yeah, I liked that. Where the heck? Not all of them have it now that I look at it, but it was kind of cool.
I think it was with that, like, that.
Yeah, this one's cool. Yeah. These both have it, and it sort of goes like...
Bye, Safi. Oh.
Neat.
Yeah, that is cool.
These would certainly double as like a study for me, because I've never really drawn anvils before. That'd be kind of neat.
That is really cool. Hello, everyone. Sometimes I wish we could hold a mic to Colton's pen, because that would be extra ASMR. That'd be sick.
I want to take this whole side and just kind of maybe like render it sort of flat.
Cool.
Render it just like totally flat, and then come back in here and maybe give a little bit of...
I just got Procreate a few days ago and don't know how to add new brushes and stuff. Ooh.
Just go to the little plus sign.
Oh yeah.
Up here.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll be able to add it or import.
And you pick the file, ABR file or whatever, a Procreate brush file.
Hey there, can you guys tell us a little bit of muted versus non-muted colors for contrast? I'm trying to make muted colors work with cell shading.
Muted and non-colors for contrast. I mean, muted colors are more like, it's more about the value. Like, colors are usually about the value, but muted colors especially, it's like very, very much about the value, like the lightness and darkness. I may even just get rid of this slit here entirely.
How many brushes do you use in a painting?
One, pretty much.
Yeah. Generally on the iPad, we'll just use one brush because it's just such a good brush and it's very convenient. Which you can get in our website, drawanime.com.
Yeah, I don't really paint with very many brushes.
I get too lazy. Like, I have to like search and spend all this extra time trying to search for a brush, and it may not even work out well. So I just use one brush generally. Will TikTok flag you if you draw a comic character from Marvel?
No.
No?
Not that I know of.
I'm sure there's tons of TikTok artists who just draw like existing characters on their streams. Like, I remember actually we did a stream where very, very long time ago where we asked people for requests of what to draw, and a lot of them were just existing characters, and we never got flagged for it. Can you talk about how to do blending and shading for noobs?
I don't blend. Like, not really. Not a lot. Like, I would say shading has more to do with, like, your basic form rendering principles. So learn how to, render a cylinder. Learn how to render a cone. Learn how to render a box. Learn how to render, what else? Spheres. And those are mostly like your basics. Like, it's pretty much just those four forms that you're working with a lot of the time, and a cone is just kind of a derivative of a cylinder. You can learn how to render ribbons, and ribbons are kind of like compound cylinders a lot of the time. Like, if you want to learn how to render a ribbon or something, they're just compound cylinders. And so I would say if you're a noob
Scoot it over a little bit.
and you want to learn how to render or shade, start with learning the basics of shading these for sure. Like, where's the core shadows? Where are the core shadows at? Like, learn the basics of light side and dark side, core shadows. Where's the core shadow on a sphere? Light side, dark side. Blending is just like a fancy way to integrate the light and the dark side. Like, a lot of people don't blend really at all.
I don't blend. I just soften edges, but I don't like use the smudge tool or anything. Or
Yeah. And I'm not saying blending is bad. I'm just saying, like, it's not gonna really
fix your art.
It's not gonna really fix stuff. So, like, I just don't blend really. Like, I'll blend just by kind of like letting my brush fade off and pressing lighter on it.
You teach us in your anime art school.
Yeah, I have a class on rendering actually, and it's all about painting. It's all about rendering. Here's what I have so far. And I go through the basics of rendering primitive forms, right? So I teach you how to render these basic forms. Here's a cone on top of a cylinder, right? Here's the calculated cast shadows for it. I teach you how to do all this.
Look at that. If you're scared of shadows, Chad.
Yeah, if you're scared of shadows, this is really scary. But we go through all the basics. I teach you about like rendering materials. Here's like barbed wire on top of wood.
But like, look how simple that barbed wire is.
Yeah, it's very, very simple. This is just one single value here with like a couple little hits of highlights on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see up here, it's a little bit more rendered in the light.
Where do you teach this?
I teach it in my painting class in our anime art school. So it's basically a complete college. There's a whole bunch of classes: figure drawing, costume drawing. What else?
Heads and faces.
Heads and faces and expressions and character design. And the class that I was showing you is the rendering and painting class. So you can check it out on drawanime.com.
Actually, show some of those still lifes that you did.
The still lifes?
And that lighting.
What's that?
Those nice lighting scenarios.
Oh, these?
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, I bring you through this. Here's the separation of light and dark.
Mm-hmm. Process is really important.
This is very important. This is how you would start. This is how I started this. Like in my mind, I was thinking, what's light, what's dark? And then so here's the process, right? I have my light and dark. I have added my darks inside of my shadows. So it basically is like, this is light and dark. Here's my darks inside of there. And then I've simply added color to it. Like I've added color information. So it's all a very methodical process. Mm-hmm. Same with this. Here's a high key, low key, and mid key environment. And I break down like, this is a daytime shot. It has warm light from the sun. It has cool shadows from the sky. It has warm bounce from the ground, and it's a high/mid key shot. And you can see it's still quite rough, right? But it works like at that level.
Mm-hmm. May I ask how much are the classes, or do we pay per class?
So the whole program is $497, and you get every single class that comes with it. You can check it out on the
on our website.
On our website, yeah, Draw Anime Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Is it in the description for YouTube?
In the description, yeah, it should be in the description.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if you want to basically have an entire college on demand that you can go through at your own pace, that's literally a fraction of the price of college. Mm-hmm. Check it out. It's honestly perfect for anybody who wants to learn the basics.
I would say I don't think I've ever seen resources like this. There's definitely art classes out there and courses, but a lot of the time they kind of teach very specific things, and it's not necessarily like a whole cohesive program.
Yeah.
And so we decided to fill that gap.
Yeah, it's a whole foundation school.
Mm-hmm. Any discount codes for the holidays?
Potentially later on.
We'll probably make one for Black Friday.
We'll probably make a discount code for Black Friday in the future. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, no. Mm-hmm. We rarely do discount codes. It's so low already.
Mm-hmm. That's super cool. Thank you, Dominique. I'll have to watch the VOD later, but OMG, I can't wait to learn all of this. Awesome, Ships. Have we seen Ships' work yet? I don't know. I feel like you're very motivated with learning, which is great. I could swing 300-ish. That's a bit, I don't know if we'll go that low. But nice to know your budget.
Yeah, we don't generally make discount codes for specific people. Mm-hmm. But totally fine. Up to you. We always stream for free regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you can ask questions and stuff. So if you have any questions now relating to color theory and painting, feel free to ask. This is your chance.
Like at this stage, things just become a lot easier because everything's pretty much established. It's kind of like noodling in details at this point. I might make like last minute corrections to design if I really want to do something. You know, I might have brighter light hitting right here.
Thoughts on the new Procreate brushes?
Never tried them.
I'm sorry, never tried them.
I'm not even really interested in them. I might dabble with them at some point.
It's kind of crazy how like it's just on a lot of people's minds, like the new Procreate update. Like it's I don't think I've ever seen it on like Krita or Ibis, but I guess we are using Procreate, so that makes sense. They're amazing. Well, that's good. What was the 1, 2, 3 again? If you get a chance.
1, 2, 3 is basically when you're rendering an object or when you're lighting an object. This product photographers talk about this a lot, by the way. This is not like a drawing. I mean, it is a drawing and painting thing, but like more than one industry talks about this a lot. So if you're going to light something, try lighting it from a direction where each side of the object has a different value. All right. So for example, a light, a medium, and a dark side. Or more specifically, if I'm lighting it from, say, this direction, light, medium, dark. It will allow you to see the object easily. This is like kind of basics of object lighting. Light, medium, dark. And it just allows your brain to process the object very quickly without having to think about it. So if I had like light, medium, medium, it's harder to see the object. Now this has a really, really clear line work on it. But let's just say I didn't have a clear line work. Let's say I just had kind of, you know, value. If this were light, medium, medium, it would take your brain a lot longer to think of this as a box. If I go light, medium, dark, your brain immediately knows this is a box without having to think about it. It's all about saving your viewers from burning mental calories. And the more calories that you can save them, the more they're going to like your artwork. It just works like that. If it costs your viewers effort, it's almost like pre-digested food. Mm-hmm. Like you're basically just pre-processing information for them. And so this is hard to see. It's hard to tell it's a box. Like you could tell, but it's more difficult and you have to think about it. This one, your brain is like, that's a box. Especially if it has like a shadow. You know, let's just say, let's have a shadow come out. Like say this.
Look at that. I'd love to buy the course, so I do hope you will consider a discount for Black Friday. It would help wonders.
Awesome. That sounds great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we probably will. Right? It's like pre-digested. It's like your light, your medium, and your dark. Now you can absolutely get a light, a medium, and a medium, or a light, and a light. You know what I mean? Like you can totally get that. It's just harder to see. Like why do you think when you take a picture of something and it looks terrible, you're like, oh my gosh, this photo's horrible? Like if drawing were about making things realistic, if good drawings was only about making things realistic, then every photo would look amazing. Mm-hmm. Because they're just literally a snapshot of real life, right? If a good looking drawing is only about realism, every photo should look amazing because they're all very realistic. But you'll take a picture and you'll be like, man, that is a horrible photo. Like, what the heck? And it's because photographers have a really big job of basically pre-digesting.
Designing in a photograph.
Yeah, like pre-digesting things. Like, I mean, look at portrait photographers. They have these very specific lighting setups, like Rembrandt lighting or half lighting, and they've got fill light and bounce. They make people's faces and bodies look aesthetic through sculpting them with light. Mm-hmm. So as a painter, you have to learn how to do the same thing. Yep. You have to be able to sculpt objects with light, but we are not photographing objects, we're drawing objects. So we have to also know how to render the objects, and then we have to learn how to arrange them aesthetically. This is what florists do with flowers. They arrange flowers in an aesthetic way. Oh, I want this bouquet to be predominantly light with a couple of spots of red. Or, oh, I think this color would look really good with that color. It's what interior designers do, right? Yeah, it's composing, it's composition. So drawing things realistically is not really actually the biggest part of the battle. It's composing. Because like there's a lot of things that aren't realistic that look great.
It's because it's designed.
Yeah.
There's like human thought, or just in general like a designation for those particular objects for a purpose.
Things in their places with a purpose. Mm-hmm. And it's huge. Like that's, if you want to become a professional artist, that's one thing that you have to spend a lot of time working on, is understanding how to compose. But it's not just composing objects, and it's composing colors, it's composing mostly just shapes, you know, but like everything creates a shape. A cube creates a shape, a shadow creates a shape. This right here is a shape. This whole thing right here
within the darks
is a shape, right? This shape looks like this.
Well,
like it looks like that. And so that's an interesting shape. It's got an interesting curve here. It's got a longer curve here. It's got a point right here. It's got a short curve there. It's got a shorter curve there. This is an interesting shape. So a character designer could take this and turn it into, like, I don't know, a banana peel that you could slip on, right?
That looks like a foot to me, like a cartoon foot with a shoe, big shoe on it.
Like, that's fun. To me, it looks like a banana peel that the character is going to slip on.
Oh, that's fun.
Right? And it's like, shapes are shapes. Like, you can turn them into anything. So, like, I took the shape of a sphere shadow, and I turned it into a banana peel, because shapes are shapes. And so, like, a good shape is a good shape no matter what context it's used inside of. And that's kind of like an abstract way of thinking. And it's very difficult for people with little experience to think abstractly with art and design, because it's like,
you spend a lot of mental calories just doing, like, basic rendering and drawing and just trying to make the drawing look good. That's why it's hard.
Yeah, and I find it super fascinating. It's really cool.
Thank you, Gobstopper. Gotta have good taste, not just technical ability.
Yeah, and good taste can be developed, for sure. Taste is definitely something that can be developed. I'm gonna, like, go in here and just be like, it's a little light.
I remember when I was a kid, or just younger, I used to really like designs that were, like, mega detailed. And I still like it, but I feel like nowadays my preferences have grown more like simple statements, because it's harder to do that. And it's like, wow, like, they must have really thought through, like, how to arrange something so simple.
Yeah.
Very satisfying. Looks like wood.
And I just render it like this. Like, if I were to carry forward, I would probably go through it again. I would put a layer on top, and I'd probably start designing in line work. And I actually would go down. You don't have to turn anything on. And I would start going and designing some aesthetic shapes inside of here. Breaking these up. Like, this to me right now, very, very even. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. I'd probably want to break up into, like, a big, medium, and small. Like, take this over here. Definitely.
I have so many questions. Sorry, have people shown... Oh, one second. I have so many questions. Sorry, I have shown people good improvement taking the course. Do you also own the classes forever once you buy them?
Yes.
Yes, you do. No problem.
Yeah, it's a forever thing.
It is a forever thing.
Yeah. And also, we never said this before, but any expansions that we make, you also get. Like, you get grandfathered into them. They'll just show up in your library. We actually have been discussing a lot lately whether we're going to add extra classes in the future.
There's a lot of classes that we do want to add.
Oh my gosh, do I ever.
I know.
I would love to add some other classes. But, yeah, basically you get it forever. It's self-paced.
Love your art. Thank you, Serenity. And thank you, Serenity, for the lovely gifts. Very, very kind.
Oh, thank you very much.
Contrast is my favorite principle of design.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you see things, right? The only way you can see is through contrast. So it's like, it's huge. It's very nice.
Do you have a class in animals?
Animals? No. I do recommend Aaron Blaze if you want animal drawing classes, or Terrell Whitlatch. They're both fantastic. I don't draw any animals.
You did draw a lizard though, but you would still need some dimensional
I
drawing.
did draw a lizard.
You wanna show the lizard?
Yeah.
I love the lizard. It's so cute. I mean, like.
Well, in one of my classes, I basically go through and I break down the components of like head, body, tail. We break it down in 3D really simply. This plus this plus this equals this. And then we take those forms and we round them out. And we basically add form lines to it. And I think the lizard turned out pretty cute. But dimensional drawing allows you to break down pretty much anything and draw it dimensionally in 3D space.
Mm-hmm. Can you show an example of what the class would look like an example of a course? We have a lot of information on our website.
Yeah. Yeah, they're basically they're kind of like this. They're real-time recorded videos. Mm-hmm. And we go through and we break stuff down and explain it long form. It would be very, very similar to like a college lecture.
Yeah. So if you vibe well with this stream, like where it's like he's describing what he's doing and all that stuff and we're live narrating it, then that's pretty much how the classes are like.
Yeah.
But you can also just go to our website, drawanime.com, and you will find it.
There's previews of the classes. You can check the syllabus out and everything as well. Mm-hmm. But it's similar to this. What?
Yeah, do you have pixel art classes?
Pixel art classes? No, I don't have anything on pixel art.
I mean, all you would have essentially do with pixel art is just make this a really low res, but you would still need to understand Foundation in order to do pixel art.
Yeah.
Pixel art is just a style preference. It's not necessarily like, it's not necessarily made differently than if you were to draw something with a low res image.
What the? Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the line work layer off at this point, and that's what it looks like with no line work. Mm-hmm. So,
ooh, it already reads really well.
If we go through and watch the time-lapse replay, you can see me like explaining stuff.
We got some more questions. Is this what art school is like in university? If you're talking about like our streams and stuff, it's
or the classes.
Or the class, if you mean anime art school.
Is this what art school is like in university? No, usually not. Usually the teacher don't draw at all, and they scribble on your work and go check or X. And I don't know, like I've seen stuff of university, but I went to design school. I went to art center, which is not a university. And I also went to a trade school to study and learn industrial design. So I never been to university for art, but I have been through a lot of school for art. I take classes a lot, constantly, read books on it. So I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's like university, unfortunately.
I would say we made our classes very similar to how we were taught, which is a lot of demos, but I personally think we add a lot more demos. And basically walk you through a lot of the steps to painting, which, not something that you see very much in art universities unless you do your research. Let's see here. It seems like a pretty comprehensive course, so just curious, what more would you want to add for courses?
Oh, I want to add a section on storytelling later. I want to add a section on manga paneling and dialogue. I would love to either hire a teacher or maybe later when we learn about like Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, story circle, like all of the structure of like a hero's journey or the monomyth or whatever. And I would love to actually teach a proper class on like storytelling, so people who actually want to like write their own stories will have a
writing class.
Yeah, like a writing class, creative basically.
Writing.
Yeah, like a creative writing class, but basically geared towards people who want to write their own webcomic or manga or something.
Can you explain color theory? And we have another question saying, would you say perspective is a difficult fundamental to learn?
Yeah. Perspective is kind of like the fundamental. Like, almost everything you will ever draw is going to be in a three-dimensional space. Like, perspective is really just you've got a two-dimensional surface, right? 2D. It's a flat surface. And you've got lines, you've got shapes, and these are like two-dimensional things. As soon as you start moving into the world of 3 dimensions on a two-dimensional surface, perspective governs all of that. So if you want to draw... What?
I like the way how you say that.
Yeah, perspective governs all of 3D things on a 2D surface. You can't have... Like, and all people are doing when they're beginners is they're kind of trying to guess perspective, right? Like, they'll draw a thing, and it'll be like, oh, I'll have, like, a little noodle, and it'll look like this, right? And it'll be like, well, a T-shape. A T-shape is something that gives depth. So if you want to take that to an extreme, here's a bunch of T-shapes. And it creates the illusion of depth. It creates the illusion of things moving back in space. So, you know, for example, if I want, like, something here. So, like, this would be perspective. Even though I'm not going, oh, where's my horizon line? Oh, where's my vanishing point? This creates the feeling of depth because there's objects in front of other objects. And perspective governs all of that. This kind of stair-stepping feel right here, that's perspective, right? If I were to draw a quick, like, ground plane, it would essentially be like objects overlapping other objects, and it really helps to create a sense of depth. Right? And that would basically be 1 point perspective, but it would be flat planes in 1 point perspective. Like the way that Disney used to make, they would have this big machine, and there were all these like transparent, I don't know whether they were pieces of glass or something.
Cellophane?
Yeah. And Sean Hargreaves, when I was at Disney in Burbank, showed it to me. They had this big giant machine, and you would just look through all these layers of glass, or whatever it is, cellophane, and there would be little things on it. It would be like a plant, and then there'd be another layer, and it'd be like a tree.
Wow.
Right? And there'd be another layer, and it'd be like whatever.
Didn't they just paint that like with gouache or something?
The mountain. I don't know what they painted it with. Right? And it would be like parallax. There would be parallax between these objects, and it would create the illusion of depth. And so I think most perspective classes could be taught a lot better, because what you get in perspective classes most of the time is they teach it to you like engineering. It's just like, here's a thing called a horizon line, here's a thing called a vanishing point. You pull lines out from your vanishing point, make this one straight, make this one horizontal, make this one horizontal, make this one straight up and down vertical, add another one, and it's like, there's a box. But like, I feel like they teach it like a lot of theory without explaining why. And this is why. It's because as objects go further away from you, they get smaller visually. And in real life, they go further away, and it's just the property of how things work. You don't have to know perspective to throw a baseball and know it goes far away until you can't see it anymore. But on a two-dimensional surface, you have to know that because you're creating the illusion. It's like all these things that we take for granted in real life, you can't on paper. Like, you have to know it. You have to know that sort of stuff.
Anything for doing book covers kind of stuff.
Book covers? I mean, yeah, it's all the same, right? Illustration, composition, rendering objects, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't do, if you mean in the school, we don't make any book covers in the school, but it's the same skill set. It's illustration. And you would be working with light and value and composition and colors and characters and, you know, color theory and all that sort of thing.
I never understood color theory, so I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, I think color theory is one of those things that I don't feel like is explained very well a lot of the time.
And they were asking if we can explain it. I think when I started learning more about color, it was less about like trying to make up a color from imagination, but more like observing. So like, for instance, I would take whatever reference that I had that I think were interesting colors, and then I would have to, what I did was I would try to get that color as perfectly as I could without color picking. So that means like we're not like sampling the color. Like show an example of sampling a color. You just hold on.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
that,
like
that's,
grabbing
that's
a color.
grabbing the color and making it, you know, that color. And so instead, you would be like, okay, what's that gray look like to you? Okay, it's low in value, meaning it's probably maybe like a 60% gray. It feels like a cold
10
gray.
being black.
Yeah, 10 being black, sorry. 100% being black. It looks like a cool gray. So that means maybe it's a gray that's going more towards blue. And so then you would make your first best guess. And then you would match it to the color that you're referencing. And so that helped me to understand colors more in terms of like value. And so what I used to do was I used to try to like oversaturate everything, meaning like putting way too much intensity, and I just wouldn't be able to like have good control over like what decisions do I want to make. So another thing that really helped was doing a bunch of black and white paintings, because before we think about color, we have to think about the framework of an image, which is through black and white, because that's how we see things in terms of depth. And then each color will have its own specific level of black and white or value, right? And so that's where like Munsell's color wheel?
Munsell's 3D color space is a good representation. Colors have local values. Like blue is a full saturation blue is pretty dark.
Yeah.
A full saturation yellow is pretty light, and it just dictates kind of what you can do with colors.
Yeah.
But I like to think of colors in terms of warm and cools. Like warms and cools. We're taking a class by a really, really good oil painter, and he teaches color, and all he really does is go, is the color I'm looking at warmer or cooler than the one next to it? Is it brighter or darker than the one next to it? Is it more or less saturated than the one next to it? And that can really help. That can really help. So like if I have a cool light that's shining on something, I'll just be like, I need to cool it down. And the color wheel, like what ends up happening is, I don't have a color. Actually, I do. I have a color wheel here. Let me just go to the disc. Here we go. So we've got this color disc here, right? And you got, your yellow, your red, your pinks, your blues, cyans, greens, and whatever. And what happens is if I choose like a red, for example, and I want to cool it down, I would move in towards pink or purple. But gray is in the middle. So gray next to a warm, which is like the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the warm greens, gray next to one of those is cooler. So if I take, say, an orange and I bring it over here and I put a gray, they can't see that? Oh, here, we'll do this. And I put a gray next to it. This gray is like cooler than the orange. I'll make it darker so we can see it. Or how about this?
Oh yeah.
All right.
It almost looks blue.
But if I choose a blue and I put a gray next to it, that gray is warmer than the blue. And so it's really interesting. What ends up happening is if you take like this color and you mix, like if you take like a blue and you mix an orange into it, the color is going to pass through the middle. It's going to take the shortest path to the other color. So if I take yellow and I mix red into it, it's going to go towards red. It's going to meet in the middle, orange. But if I take orange and I mix a blue into it, it's going to meet in the middle, which is gray. Gray is like your pass through in the middle, right? So again, if I take green and I mix like a red into it, it's going to take the shortest path and go straight through the middle or very closely through the middle, and you're going to get really gray. You're going to get really, really gray in there. So, you like take a red and you take like a green, and if these like meet, what ends up happening is you get a much less saturated color in here. It kind of goes like this. But digital art isn't very good at doing this, so that's why most teachers will recommend you do traditional, because traditional paint mixing. We had a stream a little while back with watercolor where we did a bunch of this stuff with like literally traditional paint mixing. But like that's the basics, but you go, okay, yeah, I get that. I learned it. I watched a video. I get it. How do I actually apply this? Like, how do I actually apply this stuff? Because there's a big difference between doing this and doing this, right? Like, I want to be able to apply this. I want to be able to do it. And I would just say, like, understand this stuff and get... My biggest thing for learning color is do a bunch of studies with traditional medium. Watercolor, oil paint, acrylic. Do a bunch of studies. Look at the colors. Mix them together. See what happens. And just try stuff. And, like, most of it is this type of thing.
You can probably move the iPad now.
Yeah, I should probably move the iPad back. Most of it is this kind of thing. Most of it is rendering. Color's not nearly as important as this type of stuff. You come in here. And make this green. You could come in here and make this, whatever, pink.
Pink of that value.
It just doesn't matter, right? A pink of the same value exactly. Like, it reads as a cylinder. If the value is good, the color almost doesn't really matter that much. It's about that 1, 2, 3 read. I could set this up in real life. I could get a yellow light, a green light, and like a dim pinkish light, and I could make this in real life and set this situation up. Like it works. You could do this. Like you could literally set this up. I have done it before. I have these different colored LED lights, and you can come in and like again, it didn't matter that it was green. It could have been orange. It could have been blue. Although blue is pretty dim, but like you could set this type of stuff up. I set it up right here. I just chose green as like an arbitrary color, and I'm just like green. It could have been pink. It could have been blue. Could have been orange. Doesn't really matter that much. Value's the big thing. Value's the thing that you want to get better at.
Will there be perhaps an animation course?
We don't do any animation, so if there is, we probably wouldn't be the ones teaching it.
Right. We'd probably hire someone.
But
because I know a lot of people do want to make their own animations.
Yeah.
But I think that if you wanted to get started, like you would still need to know how to draw, especially if you're going to be doing 2D animation for your project.
Like 2D animation, you need like drawing foundation for perspective, composition, that sort of thing.
Drawing is
very foundational.
Unbelievably very useful.
Yeah, it's super foundational.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we were taking this oil painting class, and there was a lady in our class who was like an absolute beginner, and the teacher was like, that's totally fine. Like, it's totally fine that you're a beginner, but I'm gonna have you spend the first couple weeks learning drawing, like drawing foundation, because like if you can't draw something, you can't paint it, because painting is drawing plus extra. Like, I wouldn't be able to paint a box unless I could draw a box. It just, you can't. Like, you can't paint a box if you can't draw a box. Mm-hmm. And so painting comes after, and that's not saying you can't learn painting like early on. It's just a lot of the struggle with painting is going to take place in the drawing sector. Most of the struggle with painting takes place in the drawing sector.
How long have y'all been drawing? Good while.
A long time. I started working professionally in 2016. That was when I first started making a living as an artist.
Not gonna lie, 2 years and you still can't draw. 2 years is a very short amount of time.
I would say, what does 2 years mean? Like, how many hours of actual drawing? Like, how many hours of this have you done in those 2 years? Like, 2 years is kind of a vague statement. It's like, did you draw for 10 minutes a day on average? Did you draw for 10 minutes once a week? Did you, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would say 2 years I've seen people go from absolute beginners to professional artists in 2 years, and I've also seen people who haven't improved at all in 2 years.
It depends on the quality of the practice and dedication too.
Yeah.
Do you guys struggle with anything at your level? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think the struggle ever ends.
No.
I would consider this a struggle. You know, an artist a lot
Really?
better than me would consider this a struggle. They'd be like, "Wow, you really struggled on that," and I'd be like, "Yeah."
Oh. Honestly, I thought that you were having a good time on it, like easy time on it. You know, it's funny because yesterday or the other day when we were streaming, I was doing this scene here and I was struggling on it because
yeah, Fox was asking about this. She wanted you to paint this.
Oh, I was struggling on it, and the reason is because I don't do a lot of these things, and not only that, but I didn't really compose the image really all that well. Like, there's a lot of things that I don't like about it, which is like these two things are very close in size. Same thing with this and that, and so it just ended up not really being the thing that I wanted, and so
I would start painting it anyways. And just adjust as you go.
Yeah, that's true. Can you guys give me tips for rendering end shapes? Shapes are 2D. Do you mean like forms like boxes and cylinders?
I want to desaturate this a bit, see what that would look like.
Colton, you have a video on YouTube about rendering, right? Or not yet?
I have a video with rendering in it. You mean my art 2-hour course?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Colton on our YouTube channel made a 2-hour long video talking about like the basics of drawing, and he did rendering demos and stuff. So if you want immediate information on that, you can check that out. Our handle is Draw Anime Academy. Same name.
I would say don't, like, if you're going to count it, I don't even necessarily recommend counting it, but if you're like absolutely dedicated to becoming a professional artist, count practice in hours, not years, because people will come in the chat and they'll say, how many years have you been drawing? And it's like, do you count the years where I was a toddler and scribbling with crayons? Like, what if I didn't even pick up a pencil for an entire year? Would I skip that year? I would go like, oh, well, like, you know what I mean? Like, do you skip it? Do you count it? Like, I could not draw for 6 months. I could draw 1,000 hours one year and 200 hours another year. Would I count both years? It's like, it's difficult. I would count hours of practice, and then to go even further, hours of like difficult practice where you're struggling and you're trying to improve and you're trying to grow. I would count those hours. I would be like, they're so different. I'm talking like, it's like an XP multiplier where you're getting 10 times XP. Like, if you're drawing really good high quality assignments and practicing, like if you're doing master studies or figure drawing with a good process, it's like a 10x multiplier for experience.
If you're struggling, that's a good thing.
Struggling is a good thing. Yeah, struggling is a very good thing.
I heard certain things are very hard, like feet, hands, and even water. Is this true? If so, why? I'm still new to art. You can try drawing it. But
feet, hands, and, well, I mean, a hand is a complex form,
yes,
right?
Hands are very complex.
Like, a hand would be a lot harder to draw than a box. Why? Because a hand is a bunch of different forms stuck together in different ways. And so, yeah, absolutely, some things are harder to draw than others. Mm-hmm. Just, there's a lot of complexity.
Yeah. Well, like, fingers have a lot of moving parts, and also hands, if you don't design the hand pose very well, the hand pose will look awkward, right?
Yeah.
That's another reason. Water, you know, a lot of people don't really understand how to do material rendering or material painting. Yeah. And so water is very difficult. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of, the reason why drawing is hard, especially those topics, I mean, I would say drawing anything is hard, but it's because your brain has to think about different things at once. You have to think about form, you have to think about lighting, you have to think about materials and composition if the design looks good. So that's why drawing is very hard. It's definitely not a thing that you can shortcut your way through.
Drawing's
it's very much like music.
Drawing's not really a shortcuttable thing that much.
No.
Like, you can create the illusion of shortcuts for people who don't know, but it's very difficult to trick like an art director.
Yeah.
like very difficult. Like if there's an experienced art director on a project and you're trying to trick them and you can't draw or design, they very rarely will be tricked.
Do you guys feel like it's harder to render than draw itself?
I think, yeah, rendering is pretty hard. Rendering is drawing plus extra, so it's pretty much always going to be harder than just straight drawing. Toby. Toby's here.
Hi, Toby. I feel that little paw. Oh, did you rub? That's cute. Toby rarely rubs against her legs. That's why I stick to inking and flat coloring at the moment still.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would paint for fun. If you want to eventually learn how to paint and everything, I would paint for fun. Like get a watercolor kit.
Look at that.
You can learn the basics of like rendering and.
Get him down there.
Silly little baby.
He's a silly baby. Why is he painting a tangent? Where?
I overlapped it. There's plenty of overlap there. All right. I'll make you happy. Crap, I'm not supposed to merge.
Why not? Oh, because you want to show the process?
How do I, like, copy all? Copy all. There we go. Can I move this? Nope. How do I paste?
Bye, Lau.
Paste. There you go.
Ah, not a tangent anymore.
I don't think it was a tangent in the first
Yeah, it
place.
wasn't. It's just, maybe it just looked uncomfortable to some. That's true, it wasn't really a tangent in the first place, but... Hi, Toby. Uh-oh.
Toby? Are you
Come
meowing?
here. Oh, you look sleepy.
He's very sleepy.
He's literally like trying to meow, but no sound comes out until much later. Hi there. Ooh, you're a good boy. Sometimes I'll see like really good artists who just use flat color, and then I'll try flat color for myself, and I'll be like, why does that not look as good as the artist? Some people can make flat colors look really good in line work.
Yeah, for real.
I think it's just the simplicity that's hard with flat colors. Toby, what are you looking at? NPC eyes. I like the swirl in there. That's interesting. What's a good way to beat your procrastination or not being motivated to draw? What do you guys do to help with this?
Come up with stories.
Yeah.
Think about how good you want to get. There's a bunch of different ways. I'm not really like a psychologist or therapist, but I would say, something like that probably.
Do you know any good homework/studies I can find for free? I can only afford ramen. Real, the artist's struggle. Or anyone's struggle, really.
Homework studies I can find for free.
That's kind of hard. I mean, we post our syllabus for our classes
Yeah.
on the website that has homework included, but you would need to watch the demos.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally go download the syllabus for our classes. We tell you all the homework. But, like, homework is more than... Homework is very much a process a lot of the time. Like, you kind of have to know the process to doing something. Maybe I'll, like...
I'm I'm studying Hellboy's creator work for it, and I'm the opposite. Rendering and gradients are harder for me than flats. Interesting. Yeah, rendering is hard. It can get very overwhelming. What do you recommend for drawing shapes to help in terms of perspective?
What do you recommend for drawing shapes to help perspective? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. See, allow.
Like how to draw dimensionally? Very cool.
She added a little bit of simultaneous contrast there.
Feels very bright.
I could even go like...
Yes. Hey, Kiyoshi. So I think they mean drawing dimensionally, like how to help with that.
I mean, first, just drawing a lot in general will help you get better at that, but I would very much say, like, learn the basics of perspective and just practice it a bunch of times. Like, getting good at perspective a lot of the time really just comes down to repetition, right? Like, I remember when I was in school, when I was in FZD, we had 2 perspective classes, and like an example of homework for 1 week would be 9 times 5, what is it, 45? 45 1-point scenes with just boxes in 1-point perspective, and you have to have at least 10 boxes per scene. Right? And what that means is we would have a scene, and we would have 1-point perspective, and we would have to set up a horizon line and have a vanishing point, and we would just drag out, and it all had to be freehand.
Freehand part is hard too.
Right? And we had to do 45 scenes with 10 boxes each. So what is that, 450 boxes? That was 1 week's homework. And by the time you get done with that, you're pretty used to drawing in 1-point perspective. Like, and then we had to use line weight. I'm just doing this really quick though. Right? And we had to use draw through. So we would have to draw the back parts of the box transparently. And then we would just go in and we do another one. And it's like, okay, maybe I don't want that to line up so much. Maybe like one right here. Tall box. And it's a thin box. And it goes back to here. And you would draw the back sides. And that would go back to there. And so you'd literally draw 450 boxes in 1-point perspective. And then you would do the same thing with 2-point perspective. And you do the same thing with 3-point perspective. And you would repeat the process. And what we had is we had teachers who would come and critique. And they'd be like, oh, this doesn't line up. Look, it's going like this. That doesn't quite line up. Just be aware of it. And you're like, ah, crap. Right? Or like, and you do it over and 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 over. And you get a little bit better. Is there a trick to figuring out the inside lines freehand? It's called draw through. It's not really a trick. It's just when they line up, you did it right. So it's almost like a way to self-check your work. So like if you draw a box, I'm not very good at drawing freehand on the iPad. If you draw a box and you pull these sides down, right? There's a side. There's a side. And you can adjust. You want these corners to line up. And just be aware of it, because most people, when they start drawing boxes, most beginners, they won't draw the inside. They'll just try to draw the box like this. And how would you know if things are actually working right? You know what I mean? Like, this box is not correct. But you wouldn't, especially if you drew it, you generally wouldn't be able to tell. Draw through.
Check your work.
It's like checking your work, yeah.
It's like if something looks off, then the draw through is generally what you would do.
Yeah, and even if something doesn't look off to you, use draw through, and it'll help a lot. But that would be an example of one assignment. Mm-hmm. And it's getting better is learning a process, following that particular process a metric ton of times, and then during that process, people who know what they're doing give you you'll improve faster if people who know what they're doing give you feedback and can help point out things. They can literally save you like 6 months. They'll like, you may do something wrong for 6 months and not even know it. A pro would be like, oh.
Well, like that's why mentorships are important too.
That's why mentorships are important, and that's why they cost so much, is because they'll save you so much time, and it's expensive to hire someone who's really high skill level to
correct you.
To look at your work and help.
But yeah, I mean, we also do mentorships as well.
Yeah, we actually, funny enough, we do mentorships. Yeah. But we don't talk about it very much on stream.
No, not really. Really appreciate you guys. Your streams are such a cozy time for me. I'm glad you find this cozy.
Awesome.
Are you guys getting off soon? It is 8 o'clock.
Probably-ish. I don't know. I was planning on doing this today as a demo, a painting demo. Mm-hmm. It's still super rough. I haven't really refined anything.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'd probably get off soon.
Bye, Armor Talks. Have a good night. It is hard to get motivation for art, though, especially if you have to draw things that you're not really thrilled to draw. Like for me, it's very hard to find motivation to draw like skeins and stuff like Colton's doing, because it's hard and my brain doesn't like pain.
Yeah.
And you want to avoid pain by not doing it, but then it just kind of shoots you in the foot. So there are ways to try and enjoy it. Sometimes, like if I'm in the flow state, and I'm like really like locked in to a particular thing, even if it's like an environment, then I'll find a way to enjoy it somehow.
Yeah.
What's y'all's website again? I was in a live once and it was mentioned, but I forgot to check.
Drawanime.com. Mm-hmm. This is our URL. You can put that directly in your browser. You can take a screenshot of this if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff in there, like a Discord server, a brush, and Anime Art School and other classes.
Yep. Let's go here.
Ooh.
I honestly, this would be the point, and I've actually kept my layers for the most part. So like that's what started with, and then it's like more refined. What?
No, nothing. I was just seeing this. My motivation to draw is sadly ask someone to give me a task to draw. That's why school exists.
Yes, I would say school has been an effective method for learning for a long time.
Mm-hmm. The concept of education and accountability. Not
Yeah.
all schools are created equal, though.
Yeah, that's for sure. I would not recommend all schools.
Mm-hmm. When do you guys go live tomorrow? I don't want to be late.
We are not. We have a class, an oil painting class tomorrow that's going to last the entire day. So we are going live. We're not going live on Wednesdays for probably quite a while.
We might either go live on Thursday or Friday.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
But it'll generally be around the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, we pretty much always go live at that time.
Serenity, are you new here?
Yeah.
I'll watch your YouTube videos. Oh, thanks. Yeah, all of our lives are on our YouTube as well. So I actually, we have one viewer, Lily, that basically binges all of our YouTube lives.
Yeah, I think we have a couple.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're watching this, if you're rewatching this on YouTube right now, go ahead and drop us a comment on the video, and then I'll see the notification, and I'll know how many of you are actually watching the replays, because we don't really know.
Yeah, we really don't know how many people watch them.
So how would I clean this up? How would I continue working on this? It's really just, I would do stuff like this. This is very messy. I'd crisp up the silhouette.
It's all about edge control.
Yeah.
crisp it up.
Crisp up these edges. So like this one right here, I would probably just crisp it up a little bit. And I would look for edges that are just not really working very well. And I would start cleaning them up.
You know, I like that these edges have like shakiness to them.
Yeah, I haven't used any
really liked it.
straight line tool type stuff.
I actually really like it because it makes it feel more natural.
Right?
Like that sword, most people would be like, I need to make it straight.
They go like this. Wait, hold up. They do this.
Yep.
I don't. I like the raw feeling of this. Like, occasionally I'll use a straight line tool, but I don't ban myself from doing it. I just don't really need to. I don't really feel the need to.
I often watch the whole VODs. I missed a lot. Wow. Thank you, Jella.
Oh, wow.
Is this the brush you guys made and use all the time, or is this a different one?
We didn't make it, but this is the one we give away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the same brush.
And I don't want the straightness because when you use a straight line that's perfectly straight, it's a statement. Like,
people
a
notice
perfectly straight line is a statement, especially in an image that doesn't have very many perfectly straight lines. So if I made a perfectly straight line, it would call a lot of attention to itself. You'll see even these, they're not straight. They're just a brush stroke. And I can draw a pretty straight line freehand. See? None of these are straight lines, like using the tool.
They feel straight enough.
And if I want to draw a straight line, that's a free-handed straight line. It's plenty straight. But best straight line that I can do is going in that direction. So like that's a freehand straight line.
Man.
And I'm not like bracing my arm on anything, so usually it would be better, but
do you guys think brushes matter whenever you're drawing?
I think brushes are a lot of fun to mess with. Do they teach you fundamentals? No. Do they make art more fun? In my opinion, yes. Do I think beginners should only use the basic round? No. Look at all of history. Oil painters never had a basic round. They just used paintbrushes. You can get all kinds of textures and scrubbing and dry brushing and wet brushing and put more turpentine or Gamsol or whatever on your brush. It's not even like historically how painters learned. I would just say focus on fundamentals, use whatever brush you want. That's my personal preference. Some people swear by it. A lot of people will say, "Oh, you should only use the basic round." I don't buy it. Nobody in history used the basic round. Basic round is a digital art tool. Use whatever brush you want. I wouldn't use some crazy difficult to use textured brush. That would kind of hold you back.
Do you guys have a manga? If so, where? And can I read when and where can I read it?
No, we don't.
We would love to make
we're going to
one.
be making one eventually when we have more time.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't at the moment.
Yeah. When we do make a manga, I'm going to be super excited because I love creating comic pages and panels and stuff. It's so much fun. But one day we will. One day. How do you pick good colors and not muddy ones?
Muddiness comes from value, not color. So the color doesn't actually matter that much. It's more about consistency and keeping the values good. But muddiness is a value issue. People paint with coffee. It's like brown. Yeah, muddy colors is a value issue. That's where the muddiness comes from.
Muddiness can also happen if you don't have like good edge control. Like if everything's very like, well, blobby, I guess. You can also crisp up some edges to make it feel a bit cleaner. But that's generally like, I would say pay more attention to your values more than your color.
Yeah, I would do a lot of value assignments. Generally, muddiness comes from a lack of having a well-composed image. That muddy problems are solved in the phase where you're just working with two values, black and white or no tone.
So may I ask what values are?
Values are lightness and darkness.
Thinking
It basically
like black and white.
Yeah, basically black and white. Value is lightness and darkness.
So just turn. You want to turn the saturation off or the color off?
Yeah. This would be value.
Mm-hmm. How does something look in black and white?
Yeah, color certainly helps you see it. Color helps you understand what surfaces you're looking at, but it doesn't make the image work.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you guys something, or are you busy?
You can ask for sure.
Very nice. How do you go from grayscale value to color effectively? That's a good question.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really have any problem going from grayscale to color these days like I used to. Not much of a problem, because of like understanding like rendering and form. It's really grayscale. If something's not working at grayscale, you can't turn it into color. So it has to be working at grayscale. It has to be working in black and white. Like these paintings. Where is it? Here. These paintings, all three of them, I started in grayscale. This one, and that one. And all I really did was, like, for this one, I just turned the grayscale image, kind of this, like, rich orangish color, and I used it as an underpainting, and I just painted over top of it. But all of my lights and darks were figured out in the grayscale phase. And yeah, I mean, going from grayscale to color, you need grayscale that's working. But essentially, if this is like a grayscale cube, I would just choose a blue that's the same value as this gray, and I would plop it in.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and
like
then,
sometimes,
yeah.
What I would do is I would kind of try to turn the color into grayscale in my mind. So like yellow, I know will be a bright value, and so I'll know like, okay, I'm using my yellow in the lights, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But that comes with a lot of experience and time. I think what I used to do was I'll put like a color balance layer, and I'll just like tint the grayscale, and then I'll just like fix the colors later on.
Yeah, so like I would turn this into grayscale by just choosing a value that's same as the grayscale. Blue, same value. Brownish, yellowish, same value. I still have my 1, 2, 3 read. Because like this cube was solved when I decided what was the light side, what was the medium side, and what was the dark side. Like the colors don't solve the cube. Mm-hmm. Light, medium, dark. It's solved when those are figured out. So like compositionally, the piece is solved as soon as I know what's light, what's dark, what I want the viewer to look at. And then the color, like, it doesn't matter. I could make this, a green or pink or whatever. Like, I'll just go... The cube's still solved. It's still got a light, medium, and dark.
Are your courses in anime style only or other styles? Also, anime style is what I mostly want to learn, but I'm open to others.
I mean, our courses are geared towards people who want to do anime style, but it's got a 12-week, like, proper figure drawing class. Like, that figure drawing class is not anime style, but anatomy is anatomy. Figure drawing is figure drawing.
Clothing is clothing.
Clothing, like, costume drawing and clothing is costume drawing and clothing. Like, anime artists aren't doing anything different than, say, people who are doing realism. They're just adding less details. A tension point in a shirt is a tension point in a shirt, regardless of whether it's in a manga or in an oil painting in a gallery. Yeah. So a lot of the classes are just the same. We just lean towards anime, like we draw it in an anime style most of the time.
Heads and faces. I would say the only classes that are more anime leaning is the heads.
I don't know where the expressions are. There they are.
There they are.
So like this is specifically more towards like there is specifically like how to draw anime manga style stuff in there. But the figure drawing class, it's a figure drawing class. The costume drawing class, it's a costume drawing class. The character design class, that's in an anime manga style. Like all of the backgrounds that I do, those are in like anime style for the most part, except some of the still lifes. Mm-hmm. But like manga artists, they learn foundation. There's no like anime perspective versus realism perspective. It's all just perspective.
Mm-hmm. How do I draw details without everything being overly detailed? For example, gold, because I try to blend everything.
It would be focal point.
Focal point.
A focal point. Where do you want people to look?
Actually, you did gold ring.
I did a gold ring a really long time ago.
The very bottom.
Literally? No, literally.
No, literally. Where can I watch your tutorials? On our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
All of our lives are on there. All of our long form videos are on there. So it's Draw Anime Academy on YouTube.
Bro, I have no stinking clue where this is. Here it is.
There it is.
This is a rendering demo I did sometime last year with gold. Where do you want people to look? Where do I want people to look? I want them to look at this. And so I made the only things that are in color these. I want people to basically look between like this area here. I want them to go, ooh, shiny. And then I want them to come back and I want them to look at this. And you've kind of just got this circular read. Overly detailed. If something looks too detailed, it's because people don't know where to look. It's composing, right? Where do you want people to look? Decide. What do I want my viewer to look at? You can make everything super detailed. If you want. Like, you could make things very low detail if you want.
Does the same work on skin?
For what?
For what exactly? Like the concept of focal point? What if there was like coal in the back?
Like a bag of coal?
Like a bag of coal or like a pile of coal.
Alright, so let's put a bag of coal in the shadow. So this is going to be like really desaturated.
You want me to look up a bag of coal?
I don't. Sure. I mean, if you want.
I just thought you may want it.
Sure, we can do that. I'd want to like draw one out. Oh, that's pretty sick.
That's fun. Santa bag of coal. That's funny. You know, sometimes I wonder what if Santa was actually like a blacksmith that or a carpenter that actually made his toys by hand.
That'd be pretty sick.
That would be pretty sick. What is saturation?
Saturation is the intensity of the hue of the color. Mm-hmm. Like a full saturation would be like, boom, that's orange.
The full saturation of this.
Yeah, of this particular color, right? Like full saturation would be, boom, there. Low saturation would be gray. Like you'd basically move towards gray. It's like the purity of the color, essentially. Oops. There we go.
I love that wallpaper.
I do
Very
too.
proud of it.
So essentially, maybe we do something like this. I don't want it to be too dark.
Does changing saturation change value? That's very good.
Yes. I mean, not necessarily. Like you can get gray of any value, right? But different colors have different inherent values. A full chroma or saturation yellow is always going to be bright. Yellow is a bright color. It's simply going to be bright. You cannot have a dark full saturation yellow. It turns brown. Blue, you have to add white to blue in order to get it brighter. It will stay dark. Unless you add white, in which case not so full saturation anymore. So that's really, really important. Colors have different like local values to them. Colors have different local values to them. I would recommend looking at Munsel's 3D color space. It's basically a three-dimensional color wheel.
that maps out the colors and their local values.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah, it looks kind of silly.
I think I got a brain wrinkle.
It's very gray. I'm gonna make the highlight on this like really gray.
It's like a cold gray. At least in that picture.
I think the coal would probably be smaller pieces, but whatever.
Nice.
Maybe I'll make it so it like... See how I'm operating in like a really, really limited range of values right now? Like a really limited range of lightness and darkness.
If you turn it black and white, it's very close to the background value. Like,
Yeah, like
it's not very bright.
I'm not going bright. I do not want to pull people's attention to the bag of coal. Like, this image is not about the coal. The coal is supporting the image in terms of little details, but I don't want this to be about the coal. So I'm adding a really low contrast.
I think another thing with things being too detailed is that you want to put focus on everything, but you have to sacrifice some things.
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice some details to get the bigger picture.
You
like,
can have...
the point, you know?
Yeah, you can have wildly detailed artwork, but it doesn't feel overly detailed because your brain doesn't have to try and figure out where to look.
I think a really good example are like those like royal portrait paintings. Extremely, extremely detailed if you like zoom in very close.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't feel overpowering.
It's because their value structure is good.
Yeah.
Their values are set up so well, so effectively. There's some coal in the background. This feels like the rope that I added a while back to that other
I was
piece.
just thinking that same.
Although I like this one better than the other one.
I actually like how dark that background, that shadow is in the green light on the wood
This?
side. Yeah.
You want me to darken all the wood?
I don't know. You don't have to. Nah, I think I like it brighter.
What's that? Oh, it's Toby.
Toby,
What are you meowing about? Huh?
you want to showcase Toby?
He's like, I must have received pets literally right now.
Did you have a bad dream? Did you catch the mouse? Did the mouse catches you? Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, no worries, Dominique.
How do you get the color palette to work cohesively when there are so many different bright colors?
It would take place in the design phase, in the compositional phase, like just simple composition. Homie, we're in the middle of a stream here. You want me to hold you?
Hold you like a baby. Would it be possible to use your other camera and video Christina drawing as well?
Christina's not drawing.
I ain't drawn.
There you are, baby.
Did you want me to take you and pick you up?
You smell like perfume because of this flea color.
Mm,
Guys,
so
chat,
cute.
do flea colors smell very strong? Because this one smells quite strong.
There you are.
Oh, yes. He loves it. He loves it.
Wow.
Come on, look at the camera. Snap up there.
Toby's been meowing and distracting me.
Have you read Land of the Lustrous? No. Is that the 3D anime that has like a bunch of like jewel themed characters?
You want to hold him, or do you want me to?
I'll hold him.
He's pretty warm.
He's pretty warm. He's probably gonna cook me alive.
Yeah. He's been napping.
Little poopy boy.
Little poopy boy. You poopy boy.
Yeah, how do you get the color palette to look cohesive when there's so many differing bright colors? there's a bunch of ways. There's kind of a bunch of tools at your disposal. One of them's like checkerboarding, which is like light against dark against light against dark. So for example, if I just come in here with, say, like a bright orange, this would be light, right? This would be light. This would be a dark. This would be a dark. This would be a light, right? This would be a dark. And you don't have to like keep it so consistent. Light, dark, light. Like a lot of it is checkerboarding, and checkerboarding within an overall like unified composition as well. So like you've got a pretty clear composition here as well. Like it's kind of all these things put together that create an artwork that is, I don't know, worth looking at, I suppose.
You're being finicky now, Toby.
Checkerboarding is one of the ways to help keep things interesting. Also, just like an overall unified composition, like it's pretty clear what I want you to look at in this piece, which is basically just this right here. And there's a lot of different stuff to look at. There's like a crystal over here. I could even take the crystal out of frame, like partially, but we got a warm light over here that I never developed at all. We got a green light here. We got cool, softer light in the background. And overall, it's basically just a cube. What is this song, bro? It's a cube with a 1, 2, 3 read. There's 3 different distinct sides. There's the top, which is generally blue. There's the right, which is generally warm. And there's the left, which is generally green. You know, that's how I think about it. And it's honestly kind of just like a little... You kind of have to finesse it.
He left.
Kobe hit it out.
I'm thinking of not having bread with my dinner tonight.
No.
I think the soup is rich enough. It doesn't need bread.
And like, I'm not coming down and going... Right? I'm not adding highlights to my rocks like that. I'm adding highlights to my rocks really subtly.
A lot of art is
Really
also
subtly. Yeah. It's a very deliberate, controlled thing.
Delicate. Treat your art delicately. In some areas.
Right? And I haven't really detailed out a lot of areas. Like, I've certainly not rendered this stuff very much, right? But from an overall, like, from a distance, you know, looks kind of neat.
Would you work on an anime manga? We would.
Would I?
I mean, we would make our own.
I would make my own. I would want to write my own story.
Yeah. You know, another thing that motivates me as an artist, or just to get something working, is imagining myself as like my ideal, like what do I want to ideally work towards in the future, like, oh, I don't know, like recording classes, or like drawing certain things, because one day I want to be able to draw backgrounds for our stories later on, or I want to have time to work on our comic or our manga or future show or whatever other project. And so I feel like that kind of fires me up. Even if it's temporary, it works. Productivity wise. Still here, guys. Awesome. Thank you.
Well, yeah. This was kind of the idea that I had earlier.
Wow.
And I may look at this at another time and go, I would probably come in here and like nuke all the dark sides a lot. Like, and just be like, what would this look like if I just dimmed all of the left a lot?
And that actually looks cool too.
And I'm just like, what if it was more like that? Like, I honestly think that probably looks a little bit better. And so it's really just this case of, like, I kind of lost the 1, 2, 3. It sort of became a
1, 2,
1, 2, 2. And so what I just did is I just went, maybe I'll bring a little bit of that back. I still have the green in there. Like, I think that looks better.
I think so too.
It makes it easier to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Makes it easier to see for me. But the funny thing is this cube that I'm looking at is basically this cube exactly. It's a 50-50 split. 50-50 split. It is literally a cube that is split that I'm looking at half of one side,
Join the server too. Oh, awesome.
half of the other. So in your Krenz cubes, this would basically be
A 50-50.
almost a perfect 50-50
Wow.
split of the cube.
I think 50-50 looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel too even though it is 50-50. It's just interesting. I cried at the end of Land of the Lustrous, left me with so many questions, you know. Some stories really do be like that. I want to watch Vinland Saga.
Yeah, I kind of do as well.
It's about time we watch something that's more, like, juicy, you know. What's that?
I could add a rope.
Oh, a
Of some sort.
rope.
I think,
I was thinking, like, what if you had a hammer leaning to it?
yeah, I could add a hammer as well. I actually played with the idea of a hammer very early on in my sketch, and I didn't really know exactly where to put it. I would have the light side of the rope, and then I would have the dark side of the rope, and I would separate those.
Ooh. Very nice.
I kind of like a
Oh,
rope
that's
in
kinda
there.
Cool, yeah.
Could be interesting. I would test it. Like, I would just really quickly throw in a little...
Chat, don't be
little
afraid
val-
to try things.
Yeah, I would... Yeah, totally try things.
Try things. Add another layer and just be like, what if I did this? And if you like it, that's a good thing. I feel like a lot of people are tend to be kind of scared of trying different things,
Yeah.
and then it ends up suffering. Their work ends up suffering because of it. You gotta take risks as a designer.
I feel like this could hardly be considered a risk. Could be interesting. You can add so many things to your art. As long as you don't mess up like the overall composition, you're pretty safe adding unlimited details for the most part.
I have a question. How do you draw landscapes or architecture? I'm new to environments, and I was wondering if there is any artist or books you may recommend. Hey, Tira. Did you hear that question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Landscapes or architecture. I would say there's a guy on YouTube. His name's Ian Roberts. He's a landscape painter. Very good. Ian Roberts.
Kind of hard to see, but I like the name Ian. It's cool. It's short.
Ian Roberts. He has a really good YouTube channel. He's a landscape painter. Does a really good job at explaining a bunch of stuff. He's great. He also has a book called Mastering Composition, I think. It's good. It's a really good book. But it all comes down to, it's really the same principles as everything else. Doing backgrounds is about directing people's attention, achieving depth, achieving the illusion of depth. Like, I consider this the same way that I would consider, like, if this was a city. Like what Fox thought in the very beginning.
Those could just be turned into buildings.
Yeah, like these are buildings. Like this is architecture. I kind of consider it the same way. Is if these were buildings, I would be putting little windows on it or whatever.
Bridges. Should probably wrap up kind of soon.
Yeah, we can do that now if you want.
Okay. Ooh, I really like those I love that indication of edge. Fantastic.
It's a little on the nose. It's not quite an accurate rim light, but
It still looks cool though.
it kind of does a job of showing you where the transition between the top and the side are. You could even do that like in other places.
It definitely feels like a rainy day on the outside.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm about ready to wrap up if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. Alright, chat. We are gonna head off. I hope you guys have a good night. We're gonna have to get up early tomorrow.
Yeah, we are.
And I hope you enjoyed it. I know that there are people who really like these kind of demo streams. Because they think it's pretty chill. Oh, that's cool. Nice mist. I like that. It's like playing a game. Oh, one more. Little few more touches. That's sick. I like it.
I just feel like it kind of needs a little bit of separation. Like, I want to come in here just really quick and just go.
Atmospheric.
Maybe separate out a little bit this with atmosphere.
It's cool.
Yeah, because
Nice.
it's foggy, right? It's smoky, foggy. It's a forge. There's metal being worked. It's red hot. Can get some separation in there.
Looks like steam.
Come on. Maybe we just get like a little.
Ooh. Little shine.
Yeah, something little shine or something on there. It could be fun. But yeah, there we go. There's the image from today. We'll watch the replay and then we'll head out. How do I do this again? I always forget. There we go. So we were talking about color theory and painting, and here's
What I started with.
here's what I started with. Planning my lights, cool in the back, warm on the right. I was just kind of planning on going with this. Adding green crystal on the left, which I don't personally think it needs. I'm probably drawing something else somewhere
I think
else.
you are.
This is where I like turned off the line work to start painting properly.
Ooh, look at that. Very nice.
There's the rope layer, and I would add more stuff, and then, yeah. So there's a couple focal points, right? Like, you got this highlight here, you got the highlight right here, you got a highlight right here. You kind of have like a triangular little focal point, right? This has contrast of color, right? I would probably nuke this down here quite a lot. I'd probably honestly just take the crystal off screen. I'd still have probably the green, but I would just
Take it out.
I'd probably like
Oh, yeah.
take it out. Just
That feels
it
better.
draws a lot of attention.
It does.
But yeah, either way, like, it's a good start. It's super messy, but it's a good start, I would say. And then let me just like, the silhouette is so important. It really bothers me when it's like,
Not
when it's
Fine.
like weird like this.
pet peeves in art.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a room when you do it like that. That's cool.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of actually helping the perspective a little bit.
Yeah.
Doing like this. It's all to create that illusion.
Very cool.
Have a
Oh,
little-
sick.
Can have a little shot like that. You know. Yeah, fun little piece. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I didn't really think this was gonna turn out. Whew. I don't think it turned out that well, but I think it worked. It works.
It worked out.
It worked out well enough. All right, everybody. Thank you for showing up, hanging out.
Looks like something I would find in Genshin. I'm liking how well the colors work.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye bye. Thanks for hanging out. Ooh, I forgot. Crap. What? There it is. Bye.
Bye, chat.
Have a good night. Thank you.